My name is Lex Marie, and I'm a resident artist at the Museum of Contemporary Art, Arlington. I first got into art as a child. I was one of those children who just always created. Like my, projects would be a little bit more special than the other kids. Throughout childhood, I kept with that until high school. I managed to take like 5, 6 art classes somehow. So by the time I got to college, I already knew that I wanted to study art. My artistic influences have changed a lot over the years based off of the styles that I'm kind of getting more interested in. I would say my biggest influence initially, I started with self-portraits, and Frida Kahlo was my biggest influence. She really got me into painting myself, painting my story. Since then, I'm like a big fan of artists who create works that I personally couldn't think of, and that like really wow me. My proudest career accomplishment would be my first solo show. It was called Remember, Remember. It was in 2 spaces across Washington, D.C. It was a very large show. It was my first show, and I put so much of time and effort and love, blood, sweat, and tears into opening that show, and the response was incredible. So it'll stick with me forever. I'd say most of my art is very timely, and it's about things that affect me in the moment or things that I feel in the moment. And the 2 things, I guess, within the last 2 years that really affected me has been dealing with women's rights and dealing with killings of Black men, Black children, and me as a mom. It just really affected me. So I decided to lean towards that idea. And so the idea of let them kids be kids is about adultification bias, which is basically that Black children are seen as older and more mature than their white counterparts. And it's from my perspective as a mother raising a Black son. I became involved with MoCA Arlington because I was curated into a group exhibition. It was a piece called At His Daddy's House, and simultaneously I applied for the residency program here, and I got it. So it was an incredible experience. So once I got the residency program, a part of the program was to have a solo show, and that's the stage that I'm at right now. Once I secured the residency here, I was actually looking for new housing, and I moved here, so I've been living in Arlington for the past year. I'd say one of my favorite things since moving to Arlington is the parks. I take my son to Mosaic Park, and it has a little splash pad, and he loves the soccer field and everything. So the parks here are amazing. Advice that I would give aspiring artists, I would say, is to follow artists that you like careers. I think what really has helped me is the more I'm exposed to what you can do in this art world, the more that I realize that I can do it too. So as I follow other artists' career, kind of see how they're moving, I honestly mimic it in ways and adjust it to my life and my career.